Minister, firstly I'd like to congratulate Deputy John Curran on bringing forward this very timely motion in relation to drug problems which we see right across the country. Minister, it's with a very heavy heart that I stand here and before you to concur with everything that has been said around this chamber tonight, and to tell you that my own rural constituency of Cavan, Monaghan and Northmeath faces the same crippling drug problems and challenges that we've heard spoken about all evening. Only last night I chaired my local Bailieborough Community Alert Committee meeting where we discussed local matters, and of course the elephant in the room is the blatant drug dealing that is happening on a daily basis in broad daylight in towns right across Cavan, Monaghan and Northmeath, and in my own little town of Bailieborough too. People think that a lot of these things happen in the big urban areas, but there's a real concern because it's a regular daily occurrence, and we are only fooling ourselves to say otherwise. I have to say to you, Minister, it would be in the top 3 issues that comes into my clinic. Parents very frightened about what the future holds, very frightened about what they're seeing in broad daylight in front of them, and very frightened, I suppose, to go to the authorities and actually say, I seen such and such a one delivering a package, afraid for their own safety and for their children's safety, and unwilling, I suppose, to go with the information because of that. I'd just like to commend the work of Superintendent Gordon Englishby and also Detective Michael Carney, who work in the drugs unit in Cavan, Monaghan. And of course, these are exemplary people doing a wonderful job against a backdrop of very, very limited resources. And they are fighting a raging scourge of drug dealing across Cavan, Monaghan and Meath. Of course, that leads to the antisocial behaviour and communities literally under siege from these thieves that are stealing the lives of young people, their parents and their families. And Minister, the bottom line is resources. And I believe that my own district, and I don't believe I'm wrong or inaccurate in saying this, of Bailieborough, is actually one of the most under-resourced divisions in the district of Cavan, Monaghan. And I'd like you to maybe come back to me and bring it to the Minister's attention, because if you are one of the most under-resourced divisions, how in the name of God can you fight the scourge of these? The other thing, Minister, I'd like to bring to your attention, of course, is Cavan Monaghan CDA Trust, which I know have written to you on the 11th of October to talk about the fact that they are actually considering winding down their operations and having to dissolve that company after years of no increase in funding, and they actually cannot continue. And I'm sure you have this letter here in front of you too, Minister, and these are the people who are facing with the scourge of drugs and the families that are trying to do something about that and address that. So not only do we have Gardaí with no resources, no Garda station in Bailieborough that was promised last September to be started, no sign of that. CCTV, Minister, you know, Minister Charlie Flanagan brought that out and the government against huge fanfare, but my information is somewhere like James Duff, who's put in an application for CCTV months and months and months ago, still hasn't had that application ratified. I know myself working on the Bailieborough Community Alert one, it takes months, there's huge bureaucracy, huge paperwork involved, and of course there's the stalemate as to who is going to hold on to the data. Is it going to be the Gardaí or is it going to be the local authority? My understanding is it is the role of the local authority, but perhaps you could confirm that to us tonight. Minister, I can't talk any longer. I have lots more I could say on the issue, but Cavan Monaghan is no different, and the bottom line is resources, Minister.
Deputy Brown.